Hi everyone. If I seem a little short and really quick to it, it's because this is take five. I'm take five. My disclaimer: I do not claim anything that I say as fact, and this is for entertainment purposes only. Now, coming back to my YouTube channel and really trying to make a go of it and really put in some videos. I agreed with my better self, that we would do famous people only. And yet, this is take five. And here's my higher. Who would you like to bring in? We will. We will switch from Brandon. Thank you. And invite Jimmy Dean. James Dean. I'm glad I took five. Yeah. Okay, this is already feels better, James Dean. I can already smell his like his jacket. Okay, and James Dean was a little before my time, but I'm down. So with that, I'm gonna I'm so smiley. I'm gonna take a breath. We're gonna bring in James Dean. James Dean. He's all hola. He's just kind of doing a shy wave. I didn't know his eyes were so beautiful. I am James Dean from your movie shelves. And I am thoughtful of your invitation. He says, I'm grateful for your invitation. It sells a story within it. I'm saying, Andrea, it tells a story within it for whoever it is brought. Okay, that makes sense. Okay. I'm aware of it. I'm trying, guys. I'm having the hardest time today. Andrea, I'm James Dean from the classics. The classic movies. Of some you are aware and some you're not. I don't think I've seen one. James, I haven't seen one of your movies. Like, all the way through. When I think of you, I think of River Phoenix for some reason. I am a boy heartthrob, much like River Phoenix. I was a song not sung slowly for my fast ride, for his fast style. His characters, he played the fast characters. I wished I had been given more true to softer roles within my movie career, within them choosing for me what my role would be. I would have loved to have danced danced with those on Broadway, the Broadway stars. The Broadway stars come being brought in as movie stars. Andrea, for your lack of hearing names, because he knows I'm thinking Laurel and Hardy, and that has nothing to do with it. I can't remember the man's name. That I know who he's talking about. He dances. Fred Astaire. He's all Fred Astaire's one, but yet there was newer ones. We'll go with that, Fred Astaire. In the black shiny shoes and the trains of the beautiful gowns on the floor with whoever partner they were dancing with. He said, I found that beautiful. My eyes would sweep away with the gown on the floor and the music carrying away my thoughts of. He's kind of rolling in his eyes, you know. He goes, he's thinking, I want to do that, but I end up having to do this. I was grateful for my career, for the landing, really, of anything before the screen, for the picture showing of it. And my life for that was given a grace that I had intended to down the road narrow it out for myself and aim more in a direction that I felt was better for me, a better role, dancing and singing. Did you sing? I had a candy-covered, rusted. Wait, it was candy-covered rust, you said. Like a rusty Skittle. My boots made for better. What are you saying? His boots made for better, different roles. You know, he was a rough. His boots didn't take him in the direction that he wanted to when he was. What do you call that when you're roll calling or you're trying out for a part? My boots were dirty and they were tough. As were the parts that I played. You're saying we will hurry? Andrea, we will scurry along for the providing of the message that I now have opportunity to bring. Going beyond my own disappointments throughout my lifetime there. I will seek to invite you all for the bringing of my words to you from spirit, the spirit realms. I gave my time to you. Sorry, the cats are fighting. I'm sorry, James. I gave my time with you from behind the silver screen in the only way that was opportunity for me to. For my knowing of the enjoyment of my audience enjoying me, viewing me. I continued the roles that I was offered given do that, just that purpose was to fulfill in the eyes of those wishing to see me. In the movies I made for my audience only, I found ground zero. He saw it. He's pointing down. He saw it as a stepping stone to start there, and he said I was to start there and land where I eventually would go, do the encouragement and the following of my fans. So basically he was doing whatever he had to do to gain the fan base necessary for them to support whatever he wanted to do, which is where he picked what movies he was in, not the other way around. Right? Yes, Andrea. My following would have given me the roles, my roles that I wanted, for their pleasing as well as mine. But that was not to come for my dying, well beyond the timetable that he had given himself to reach a certain point. Yeah, James Dean, I don't know much. I don't know how many movies you made. I don't really know anything about you other than that they still make posters of you and sell them. So you're not forgotten. You're just a dream boy, right? Like I was the main squeeze in my day, along with a lot of other leading men. I suited for his genre, he suited just fine for the ones that chose him over the other dream boys. I hit my fastening belt in the center. I'm sorry, say that again. My seatbelt while driving. I had cursed the I'm sorry, go ahead. I'm having a hard time. Andrea, when I was driving my car really fast and forward, I had been unbelted for the speeding up of his car. Upon reaching the speed and he leveled out at, it was as fast as my car could go. So it was when he plateaued at the fastest that it could go. Go ahead. I buckled my seatbelt. Yet the finding of the slip for the clip, right? Yes. It came far from where my hand sought it. So he was struggling for the... I hadn't yet found it when my when my car found the landing of itself into the tree that claimed my life. He was go ahead. I gave no precautions other than putting my seatbelt on. Meaning he waived all other important things that he needed to do to keep safe. My seatbelt at the time was my safety, and he was struggling to get it clicked. I was fastening my security in my knowing that I would not have an accident. He's telling me he's making sure that all the loose ends are tied up, so at these speeds he's going to be okay. I failed. I failed my riding out of that safely. By doing what was not necessary for the sake of it hadn't been on already. He's kind of sharing with me the bewilderment as to why it's so important now. I should have let go of it the moment that I couldn't find it immediately to click it. At those speeds, it was the one hand on the wheel, not two. Yes, Andrea. I lost the gripping of the wheels, the tires, when I allowed for the maintaining of the wheel with only one arm. And then he's saying even that arm was distracted with what this arm was trying to do. I failed to stop, to slow down, stop my vehicle, place my car in stop position, and take the time to both hands and all my attention to buckle my seatbelt. Now he's showing me how it remember the old straps and you put it through and then you pull it tight? That's what I just did. It was a seatbelt of that matter, yet it still was the clicking of it that he I could not reach the far end. So he had the right side of it in his hand and was unable to find the other one. My giving loose the wheel of both hands. This is no Andrea of only one hand. Was the beginning to my tires shaking, not being held sturdy, giving way for any wobbling. Like a storm, it grew in its ferocity and speed, its magnitude, he's saying. the wobbling got bigger and bigger and bigger, and it got... The wobbling reigned over even him trying with both hands to stop it. The tires from doing that. My foot had yet to find more gas, so he's still at top speed. You didn't let loose of the accelerator. I never eased up on it, no. For my fearing that was going to completely total any chances that he had to gain control of it again. For the slowing surely would have allowed for the off balancing of his tires, and they were already headed that way. I would have slowed and found my death in another way. I mean, somewhere else other than that tree. But I would have found my death had I slowed at the time that the wheels were doing what they were doing. I had my education for the fast driving of cars. For my own... just for his own wisdom, just for his own knowing, for his own furthering his knowledge. He's a smart guy. You're a smart guy. I chose to inform myself of anything that might affect me or matter to me or mean anything to me. The things that interested him. I found folly in my driving only... No, he's saying in what I learned about driving, in only what I did while driving and knowing what I had learned. My seatbelt, for the life of me, killed me. For the distraction that it did. For the hand of me that it took from the wheel in order to attempt to fasten it. So it's really hard to say really what goes on before somebody crashes their car and dies, isn't it? Unless there's a live witness. Andrea, I gave my cars my full max, at full speed, quite often, and it was to my failing that moment or that time. That moment when I let my hand off of the right side of that wheel, going that speed, I caught my wings. He died. Is that what you mean? He said, I caught my death. In an instant. Say it again. Overcorrecting. To overcorrect it, or so to try to fix it once it was like that. would have been certain death, as in flipping instant, like it would have been all bad. For me to continue forward at my speed, it truly was the safest way for me to try not to crash. And for the life-giving thoughts of me and for the, let's go ahead, say it again. I hit the lower branch of the tree at the least beneficial time for it. It came a little time before he could have survived the impact. Go ahead. Andrew, the saving of my life was due not to be possible in any scenario that he played out. The branch was a better yielding to a tragedy he's seen himself flip and burn. Are you saying that you hit that branch on purpose? I altered the route for my better knowing of, if I didn't, what the rolling of his car was going to be. It gave him a better opportunity to survive it. The lower branch having hit the hood, he's seeing is it would rather slow it, hold it from its flipping, for his surviving and walking out of that car. He felt 100% certain that it was the best option. It would have been, it says, a whole lot hairier for me inside of it. The rolling of it. I sought not death. He wasn't trying to die. I sought life. Yet, if death could not be avoided, he sought not to experience all of that. It's amazing, isn't it, James? When your life is like it just in a split second, how many thoughts can be registered in your mind. I gave plenty time. My considering how I was going to get my car to slow enough for me to regain control of it without injury to myself. I saw nothing until I saw that tree, that branch that was going to save me. Nothing else was going to. My speed cemented onto the floor. My foot. His foot, he had it to the floor, and it was for the free, like almost you could see his leg was straightened out and locked. For the knowing of if it even came up a little bit, he was going to flip. He's saying yes. It was a doomsday arrival for me, regardless of how I was going to arrive outside of my car that day. My smoke and flames, they weren't suited him. He didn't want to burn up in his car. My smoke and flames from throughout my head in those flash seconds. He said minutes. He had longer than seconds. Minutes of, he said, plenty of time to decide my best line of action. I got company, hold on. Hey kid, I'm doing a recording, so don't knock. Okay, sorry about that. Sorry guys. James, how long? Okay, we are 30. My being an informed, well-known, well-educated driver, I was known for my knowing the driving of cars fast upon my peers. In a not showing off way, in a truly knowledgeable, skilled way for how I drove. In the undoing my life by the doing, the trying for the doing of a seatbelt. Rendered me out of every possibility to maintain that vehicle, to get it slow enough to where he could stop it. For this, my resting lower branch will remain in my mind as the softest landing that was going to happen at his speed. Wow. I totally get that now, but I would have never thought of that. It's like, slow down, you're going too fast. Not with wheels like that. You're not slowing down. That would give them, oh wow. Thank you, James. Andre, its sturdiness relies on the firming of the column to the wheels. My fault. For ever allowing it to shake, which means ever taking his hand off of it. Andrea, you're grateful. Men of honor up here. He's talking about my fallen. I write for I type. I take dictation for fallen soldiers from any war in history. And that's what he's talking about. You're honoring them. Returns for you, they're honoring of you. And it sits well with the soldiers up there. I know that it does. Keep doing your typing for them. The records will be eyewitness accounts. They will matter one day, Andrea. Keep writing them. Okay. I plan to. Andrea, I'm sorry. Your viewing for me, he's meaning me bringing him forward for his testimony. Yes, Andrea. Allows for my own record as to my own eyewitnessing of coming from the only person that it could come from, which was me. And for this, we will all remain grateful for our being heard upon our deaths. For the rare, he's saying, first of all, for the rarity of having a medium in for which to translate or transcribe for, that it's even more rare that you get one that gives of her time and her physical effort for the purpose of someone else. He's saying, I'm not selfish, and not selfish, but you're the medium who stops for us, is what he's saying. For us to give our account of things as they truly were. He's tipping his hat to that. Thank you. I know that there's not going to be a lot for me out of these records, and I'm almost scared that I don't know what to do with them once they start piling up. But I do feel good about doing it, James, and I'll keep doing it. I don't have to have a reason other than, they want to be heard. They want the records made for their eyewitnessing of events. So I do it. Thank you. Andrea, you're going to survive anything. I don't have a car. He's telling me to keep my foot on the pedal. I'm like, I don't have a car, Jay. He says, you will have a car. Remain forever in your seatbelt before you start your car. Thank you. I am sure that's really good advice. It really is. I'm going to have to watch one of your movies. He didn't I'll never get it. I suck at names, titles, numbers. He says I'm still in the catalogs. He's not hard to find. And now he says thanks, and he's gone. Wow, that was good. Well, we know what really went down, what he was thinking, what he was doing, and why he chose that tree. It was the softest landing possible. Thanks for sharing that. I did, Paul Walker. He's doing this fist thing with Paul Walker right now. They have a lot in common in knowing the fame of their looks, and they're appreciating the what went with that. All right, guys, it's over. Thanks. Come back.